Ever think about how we got from like carving on stone to typing on glass? Today, we're diving into a script that's made that whole journey, the Tamil script. It's ancient. I mean, it predates the Roman alphabet we use every day. And get this, it's still going strong.
It really is incredible. The Tamara script is a living, breathing system used by millions. And what's fascinating is it takes a totally different approach than our alphabet.
Okay, so we're dealing with something a little more than just your average ABCs here. You mentioned it's different. How so?
So the Tamil script is what's called an abugida. Instead of separate letters for consonants and vowels, each character cleverly combines both sounds. Imagine like packing a whole syllable into a single character. That's the basic idea.
Whoa, that's a pretty different way of looking at letters. It almost sounds kind of musical when you describe it like that. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's rewind. Where did this unique script even come from? How did it all, begin?
Like a lot of South Asian scripts, the Tamil script can trace its lineage back to the Brahmi script. Picture this ancient ancestor in India, and over centuries, different branches kind of sprout off, leading to scripts like Tamil.
So, like a family tree of alphabets, each with its own little quirks and characteristics. But what makes the Tamil script's branch so unique, even way back then?
Well, even in those early Tamil Brahmi inscriptions, you see these little hints of, you could say, rebellion. They had to create special markers just to represent sounds that weren't even in Sanskrit, the language Brahmi was mainly used for.
But they were already pushing the boundaries of the script, even back then. That's interesting.
Exactly. And that independent streak continued. Over time, the script evolved, and a major player kind of emerged on the scene, the Vadalutu script.
Vadalutu, huh? Sounds like some kind of ancient warrior. Tell me more about this script.
Well, to understand Vadalutu, you have to picture the political landscape of medieval India. Dynasties like the Pallavas and Cholas were in a constant, struggle for power, and Vadalutu was deeply intertwined with their reigns, particularly in the southern Tamil-speaking regions.
Ah, so the script was caught in a royal rumble. What happened when one dynasty took over from the other?
Interestingly enough, when the Cholas inherited the script from the Pallavas, they didn't just adopt it wholesale. They put their own unique stamp on it, influencing the forms of the letters and ultimately shaping it into the Tamil script we know today.
Talk about leaving your mark on the world. Okay, so we've got these powerful dynasties using and influencing the script, but I'm curious what other factors, maybe beyond politics, played a role in the Tamil script's evolution.
You might be surprised to learn that even something as simple as the writing materials had a huge impact. In the case of the Tamil script, palm leaves were the go-to choice for writing.
Palm leaves, I mean, they're beautiful, but they always seem so delicate. Not exactly what you'd call user-friendly, right?
You're exactly right. Imagine a scribe meticulously carving each letter onto these fragile leaves, trying desperately not to, punch through the surface. A single hole could lead to, tears and decay, ruining the whole thing.
Oh, that's right. They didn't have the luxury of hitting backspace. So how did they adapt? What changed in the script because of these fragile leaves?
Well, one of the casualties was a special marker called the pulley. It was originally used to signal a pure consonant sound.
So what happened? Did they just drop those sounds altogether?
Not quite. They came up with clever workarounds for pronunciation, but visually the pulley became just too risky to write. Trying to fit that tiny marker onto a delicate palm leaf without any slip-ups was just, too nerve-wracking for those scribes.
Wow, that's amazing. It makes you realize how something we take for granted, like a sturdy piece of paper, can completely change the way a writing system evolves. But were there any other casualties in the name of palm leaf preservation?
Actually, yes. Another marker, the Kusiel Ukaram, met a similar fate, almost vanishing from common use. Again, it was all about simplifying those strokes for the sake of those delicate leaves. It ended up being replaced with a much simpler vowel marker.
So those poor scribes had to develop a delicate touch just to keep their writing, intact. That's dedication. But tell me, when you look at the Tamil script today, what sets it apart from, other descendants of that ancient Brahmi script? What are its defining features?
For something with such ancient roots, the Tamil script is remarkably straightforward, especially compared to some of its Brahmic cousins. It's known for its simplicity and elegance.
Simplicity and elegance. Okay, give me an example. What makes it so simple?
Well, let's take aspirated consonants. Think about the BH sound in the word pie. Many other Brahmic scripts have specific characters for those sounds, but the Tamil script, it just says nope to that.
Wait, really? Why not? It seems like those sounds would be pretty important to capture in writing.
And that's what's so clever about it. Those specific aspirated sounds just aren't natural to the Tamil language itself. So instead of creating like extra characters for sounds it doesn't really need, the script just gracefully sidesteps the whole issue.
That's a really elegant solution. Let the script mirror the language, makes sense. But what happens when they DO need to represent sounds that aren't originally in Tamil, like from borrowed words or names?
That's where it gets really interesting. The Tamil script actually borrows what we call Grantha letters from the Sanskrit tradition to handle those non-native sounds. It's like having a linguistic toolbox, pulling out the right tool for the job, even if it's from a neighboring kit.
I like that, the linguistic toolbox. So they've got a system for like adapting when they need to. But you know what languages are like, always changing, always picking up new sounds. Is there anything in the Tamil script that's like a catch-all, a way to represent anything that comes along?
Get this, there's a character called the Aita Uttu. It's basically a wild card character.
A wild card. Okay, you've officially blown my mind. How does a wild card character even work in a script? What does it look like? What does it do?
So visually, it's a small character that looks a bit like a sideways S. And functionally, it's amazing. This Aida Otu can be used to represent sounds from practically any language you can think of. It can handle English, which has sounds quite different from Tamil, and even sounds from languages that use, completely different writing systems.
That's incredible. It's like this ancient script knew it had to be ready for anything. So even though it stayed true to its roots and kept things simple where it could, it also like built in this incredible flexibility to evolve with the times.
Precisely. And that adaptability really speaks to the script's enduring relevance. You've got this blend of respecting tradition with those elegant solutions we talked about, and this forward-thinking design that allows it to incorporate new sounds. It's a testament to the ingenuity of its creators and the ever-changing nature of language itself.
It really makes you appreciate the ingenuity built into this script. It's like they knew it had to, stand the test of time.
Absolutely. And that journey through time brings up a fascinating point. We've talked about palm leaves and ancient scribes, but today, the Tamil script exists in a digital world. It's on our phones, our computers, buzzing around the internet at, lightning speed.
It's almost funny when you think about it, right? This ancient script meticulously carved onto delicate leaves, now living as pixels on a screen. And that makes me wonder, has this leap to the digital world changed the way people write in Tamil?
It's definitely an ongoing discussion. Some argue that the digital realm, with its emphasis on speed and efficiency, has led to some simplification. For example, you might see fewer ligatures. Those are special characters that combine multiple letters into one on digital platforms.
Right, because on a keyboard, it's just easier to type things out, letter by letter. But then again, hasn't the digital world also opened up new avenues for preserving and celebrating these traditional scripts?
Exactly. That's one of the most exciting things happening right now. You've got these initiatives creating beautiful and accessible Tamil fonts for computers and phones. There are online dictionaries where you can look up words and hear their pronunciation. And language learning apps are making it easier than ever to learn Tamil, no matter where you are in the world.
It's like this ancient script is having a digital renaissance.
I love that way of putting it. And it highlights a crucial point. The Tamil script isn't stuck in the past. It's constantly evolving, embracing new technologies, finding its place in our increasingly interconnected world. It really makes you think about the future of writing, doesn't it?
It really does. So for anyone listening, we'll leave you with this. As technology continues to evolve at a breakneck pace, what role will ancient scripts like Tamil play? Will they keep adapting and thriving in this digital landscape, or will something be lost in translation?